Words have unbelievable power. Words by themselves have unbelievable power to move people if you choose the right words. And the words that you're using moment to moment as you live are shaping your destiny. And the reason is, think about it, throughout history, different people have selected words that have moved us because the right words don't just get us to listen, but the right words will move us to action. Martin Luther King used words, I have a dream. John F. Kennedy used words. Words can make us laugh, they can make us cry, they can wound us, and they can heal us. Words can change the way you think, and they can change the way you feel in an instant. And most of us know this, but we don't use it on ourselves. We just think about other great leaders and how they use words to move us. We got to start thinking about ourselves. One word can change your state. Think of a word like chivalry. Does that feel different than being gentlemanly? You better believe it. Or you think of a word like nobility, or integrity, or impeccability. These bring up all kinds of other images and sounds and feelings. Words create a biochemical effect on our body. And so what we've got to do is become sensitized to the words that we use. Not where we're freaked out about them, but where we're very clear that words do have an impact. And what really impacts us are the consistent words that we use. The habitual words that we use are shaping who we are. And here's how and why. First of all, think about it. Every one of us in this room have experiences, but our experiences have to be taken in through this funnel called our brain. And as we start to get certain sounds and tonalities, and we hear certain consonants or vowels, and there's certain movements in a person's gesturing in their face, all this stuff is coming into your brain right now. And your brain very quickly has to determine, what is this what? And what should I what? So your brain is constantly creating shortcuts to be able to make that decision more quickly. Because if you can decide more quickly, it's likely you can avoid pain more often and you can get pleasure more often. So we as human beings have created a series of ways to make shortcuts to know what things mean and what to do. If every time something happened, you had to search your brain for every other time you saw this imagery, you heard these exact sounds in this exact same way, and you had to search all your references, it would take a long time to decide. So instead, your brain has developed belief systems. Belief systems are nothing but generalizations, and that saves you time. So generalizations sometimes empower us, don't they? Sometimes generalizations disempower us, like love is destructive. See, maybe once you saw something and misinterpreted what it meant, and now that becomes your shortcut, and sometimes our shortcuts shortchange us. All beliefs are made up of words. An important distinction. If we change one word within the belief system that you have, we will change the belief. One word. Because words create a different shade of meaning and emotion and sensation. Let me clarify even more by giving you a little bit of frame of reference. All these sensations are coming in, and they're being brought into this funnel called your brain. Your brain's got to figure out, what does this mean? So what it does is it gets these sensations, is it starts to generalize so it can make a decision more quickly. And what it has to do is put a label on this to speed the process up. So imagine this funnel of liquid sensation. By the way, when you say I feel angry, is anger always the exact same sensations? Yes or no? It may feel like it because once you call it anger, you have an anchor to what anger is, and you trigger all of those sensations you call anger into the experience. But right before you called it anger, it may have had varying levels of liquid sensation within you. Are you following the metaphor? Like sometimes something happens, you really get angry. Sometimes you get in between angry. Sometimes it's all over there. But some of you have habitual ways of describing any level of pain that you categorize as anger, and you call it all anger. And the minute you do, you may take something that was a little bit upsetting and you make it anger immediately, and you intensify the emotion. How many are following the process? Now, this distinction, think of it again like a funnel, and imagine that the words that you and I habitually use, are like little patterns down here, like cookie cutters, if you would. If these little forms down here come along, and some are square and some are triangle, and it fits down in here, and you've only got 3 forms to fit it in, you got about 3 emotions you're going to feel, because the minute you take your experience of life and put a word to it, it becomes what you call it. Your brain instantly fires off the biochemistry attached to that word, and that is your experience. And if you got 3 words, you got 3 experiences of life, and that's why most of you have 12 emotions. Because you've got 12 words you use habitually to describe your pain and pleasure. It's not that you don't have other sensations. It's that you don't experience them because you label them ineffectively.